Nameology. You know, nameology is a thing, right? Just like people with the same zodiac signs carry the same energy, people with the same name carry the same energy. Ubiquitous spirituality, baby. We got colorology. We're going to talk about that. We got numerology. We got nameology. The first name I learned, and if you know people with these names, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Brittany. Brittany's are Aryan. Okay, Brittany's are Aries, Scorpio. Every Brittany I know has a primary Aries or Scorpio placement. I know one Brittany who's an Aries rising, one Brittany who is an Aries sun, and they're both Scorpio moons. But Brittany's are affiliated with military. They're fighters, they're militant, they're angry, they're aggressive, they're leaders. And it just like zodiac signs, you have developed Brittany's and undeveloped Brittany's. Developed Brittany's, they will be leaders and warriors. They may be affiliated with martial arts, military, head health, blood health. Undeveloped Brittany's fighting all the time, angry, aggressive. And then the fact that Brittany is the first name that put nameology together for me. Aries, number one. Aries the first. Chris. Chris's are dark, good or bad. Chris's are always disappearing. They're always dealing with money. They either have a lot of money or they owe a lot of money or they're always asking people for money. But Chris is a Scorpio name, okay? Chris's are always married, dealing with divorce, working with money. They work for the Mint, the Reserve. They're money managers. They're extremely emotionally intelligent. Negatively, Chris's can be very stubborn and difficult to deal with and very paranoid. But Chris is a Scorpio. I want to say Chris is a Scorpio Capricorn name. Look at Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans has passed away, right? Look at Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith, the Scorpio moon. Look at Chris Brown, and all his life is very Scorpion, and he's a Taurus, which opposes Scorpio. Felicia is Aquarius. Felicia is very Aquarius Pisces, baby. Felicias don't play. They're incredibly intelligent. They might be rebellious. They might be highfalutin, bougie, and think they're better than everybody. Every Felicia I know I love, but one of my best friends, she's an Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Mercury. I think about Felicia Rashad, okay? She's very positive Aquarius, positive Leo. I believe that Felicias are the Aquarius Leo axis, but Felicias are very elevated, highfalutin people. So are Jennifer's. Baby, Jennifer's do not play. One of my best friends is Jenny. She's an Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Mercury. I know another Jennifer who is a Leo, but Jennifers are about the drama, the romance. They don't play. They're lionesses. They are incredibly talented. They are incredibly ingenious, or they're incredibly rebellious. They're doing either the negative Aquarius Leo thing or the positive Aquarius Leo thing. I just thought about this. Jennifer Lopez, a Leo. Jennifer Aniston, an Aquarius. Jennifer Lewis, an Aquarius. And look at all of them. Jennifer's are regal and royal. That's wild. Jennifer Lawrence, a Leo, and at one point she was the highest paid actress in the world. That's wild. Jennifers don't play. Antoine and Anton. That's a Leo Aquarius name. First of all, both of those names mean highly praisable, worthy of praise. And of course, I see it myself. I'm always being praised. I've always been incredibly intelligent, but I'm more emotional than people think I am. I have an uncle named Antoine, and the way that he cried at his mama's funeral, my grandmother's funeral, it shocked everybody, but we all had to go get him. I've been there. People have had to pick me up off the floor, okay? And it's like, whoa, who is this? Because you're really bold, you're really astute, you're really intelligent, you're really direct. And Antoine's, they don't be the ones to mess with. They really don't. Now, negatively, they like to fight. They're arrogant. They think they run shit, and you have to check them. But and that's me delineating that, but I've never seen that from an Antoine or Anton I know. Every Antoine or Anton I know, a bunch of friends, highly respected, highly intellectual. People come to Antoines and Antons for advice. We're sacrifices too. So as rare of a name as Antoine is, there are 2 Antoines on my dad's side of the family, and then 3 Antoines on my stepmom. I look at my stepmom's family like my family, so Aquarius rules step family. But my stepmom's brother's name is Antoine, and then he named his son Antoine Jr. So it was always Baby Twan, Teen Twan. They still call me Teen Twan to this day, and Big Antoine. But I see the same thing in them. So my cousin, Baby Antoine, who's in his 20s now, he builds computers. Aquarius. I'm an astrologer. Aquarius. John. Johns are Piscean, the good and bad way. Johns will be really spiritual, sacrificial. You met a John in a hospital. You know a John who's addicted and alcoholic, or a John who does alcohol and addiction advocacy. Johns be cheating. Johns are Piscean, you know. Like I said, all names are, because I was talking about this with somebody. They were like, oh, so I should stay away from Johns. I said, no, Johns will save you and save your life and heal you. But every John I know is dead. Pisces, the afterlife. I know one of my friends, when I met her, her husband was terminal and he passed. Two of my friends, their fathers have passed, John. And spiritual ubiquity, ubiquitous spirituality. That's what this is. I believe spirituality lies above. Astrology and esoteric sciences help us delineate and decipher. But real spirituality, the color of your car, hell, the shape of your head, okay, your name, your date of birth, it'll all tell me things about you. Amber. Amber is Scorpio. That is so Scorpio. Amber Riley is a Scorpio. I have a quadruple Scorpio best friend named Amber. And I remember reading a chart on Live for a girl named for a girl named Amber, who was a double Scorpio. And then I think about Amber Riley, and she was on The Masked Singer, and she was telling this story about how she's gone, and she's, you know, has studio sessions where she goes and sings certain parts of certain songs. They do that a lot. Like Michael Jackson calling Martha Wash. Y'all know Martha Wash, look her up. It's Raining Men. But calling Martha Wash to sing the end of Centipede, which is Rebby, is it Reby or Rebby? Reby Jackson's song, okay? And I heard the end of Centipede, I said, that's not Reby. And Michael Jackson's a Pisces moon. Illusions, delusions. But yeah, Ambers are Scorpio. And if you know people with these names, tell me if this is your experience with them. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. What's really weird is, I told y'all Amber and Chris are Scorpio. Okay, every Chris I know has a prominent Scorpio placement. I married a quadruple Scorpio named Chris, while I had a quadruple Scorpio best friend named Amber. And I've been friends with Amber since high school, and Amber would always joke about how I found the man version of her. And I didn't know a damn thing about nameology or spiritual ubiquity back then. But they're both Scorpio, and that's deep. That's real deep. Even your associations with the names in your life. Amber's and Chris's both deal with a lot of death, a lot of taxes, money. As soon as we graduated from high school, Amber made me not the beneficiary on her will, but she was dealing with will stuff at 19, Scorpio. That's crazy. But yeah, tell me if you see this stuff.